Hey everyone, it's Jackie, and you've probably already guessed by now that in today's lecture we are talking about shapes. A shape is defined as a flat enclosed area. Shapes can be geometric, like squares or circles, or organic, like free-form natural shapes. Shapes are flat, meaning they can express length and width, but no depth. This slide shows several different ways that you can create shapes in a composition. Perhaps the simplest way to create a shape is to enclose an area with a continuous line. You can also create a shape by surrounding an area with other shapes, filling an area with a solid color, or filling an area with a gradated color or texture. A three-dimensional shape is called a volume. So a square is a shape, but a cube, its three-dimensional counterpart, is a volume. You can create the illusion of a volume in a flat shape by introducing value. Notice how the gray values in this shape give it the appearance of volume in this illustration. As a creative professional, your understanding of shapes can help you make more compelling designs. For example, in this cover design for a book titled Fearless Beauty, the graphic designer Cecilia Sorochin has combined a model's volumetric head with a silhouette of swirling flat shapes. The contrast between the photographic imagery and the organic flat shapes brings a sense of dynamism to this work. In a similar vein, the Austrian painter Gustav Klimt combined flat and volumetric shapes in this painting, Salome, which was made in 1909. The work details a tale from the biblical New Testament in which Salome, the king's niece, is granted a wish for a dance performance. She asks for John the Baptist's head. Klimt rendered areas of the figure's flesh more realistically compared to other areas of the composition that are flat and pattern-based. This draws the viewer's eye to the significant parts of the work, such as the head towards the bottom right of the painting. Taking yet another approach, Elizabeth Murray makes viewers more aware of the physicality of her monumental painting by working with the shaped format. Here, the work has been documented on a white wall, but you can tell that the outer boundary of this work is unconventional and very unexpected. Let's take a moment to review the many different types of shapes. Rectilinear shapes are composed of straight lines and angular corners. On the other hand, curvilinear shapes contain curves and flowing edges. Geometric shapes have crisp and precise edges with mathematically consistent curves, while organic shapes are more commonly found in the natural world of plants and animals. Let's view some examples of these shapes in works of art. Dutch painter Piet Mondrian was inspired by Manhattan's grid and the city lights at night. He also loved the speed of New York, traffic, jazz bands, and dance halls. You can see the impact of the city and all of these things in this painting titled Broadway Boogie Woogie, created entirely from rectilinear shapes. By contrast, the British artist Bridget Riley's work, Drift No. 2 from 1966, centers curvilinear shapes in this composition. The organic shapes within this composition, called Interior Landscape by the American artist Helen Frankenthaler, were created by pouring paints onto the surface of the canvas. The French artist Henri Matisse's The Parakeet and the Mermaid is yet another example of organic shapes. Let's take a moment now to analyze how shapes interact with each other by looking at positive and negative space. A shape that is distinguished from the background is called a positive shape, or a figure, while the surrounding area is called the negative shape, or ground. In figure ground reversal, This phenomenon occurs when first the positive and then the negative shapes command the viewer's attention. In this work titled Day and Night by M.C. Escher, you might notice the black birds first, only to then see all the white birds. Anywhere you look in this composition, it's impossible to distinguish the figure from the ground. Now that we've discussed the element of art known as shape with greater attention, we are ready to start the next assignment. The complete description is posted on Canvas, but we will look at one successful outcome for this assignment from a former student together now. On the left, you can see that this student has successfully created the illusion of space and depth by stacking shapes inside the composition. Using varying thicknesses for the outer boundaries of these shapes helps contribute to the notion that these forms are overlapping and receding in space. In the composition on the right, the student has designed a good example of figure ground reversal. A viewer cannot place the white shapes in front of the black shapes or vice versa. The twisting of figures and grounds is your objective for the second composition for this assignment. That's it for this presentation, but we'll be talking about these ideas again as a group. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you soon.